Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to have you back with me today. It is your typical fall day. It's a little cool, it's overcast, it was raining this morning, and it looks like it's kind of stopped now. But today is the perfect day to be inside making some applesauce. Now, we do have a couple apple trees that we just planted this year on our homestead. So unfortunately, they are not ready to get a crop off of them. It's gonna be a couple more years for that. So what we've had to do is go to a local orchard and pick some apples. And to go along with that, one of the grocery stores in our area had apples on sale for 99 cents a pound. So we did go pick some from the orchard, but we also went to the grocery store and picked up to fill in what we need to make some applesauce. Applesauce is absolutely one of my kids' favorite things to eat. Sometimes I think they could live off of it. So I like to make our own. Unfortunately, this year, I know we're not going to be able to make enough for a year's worth, but we're going to make enough to really enjoy for a while. So I want to show you guys how I do this. I like to use more than one kind of apple in my applesauce because I think it gives it a much better flavor. Typically, I use Golden Delicious or Jonagold or Jonathan. I really like a combination of that Golden Delicious and Jonathan apple. This year, what I was able to get is the Golden Delicious and some Jonagold. So I'm going to mix those together for a really tasty, smooth applesauce. Now, up until recently, I would peel, core, and slice them and throw them in a pot on the stove with some water in the bottom to keep it from scorching. And then I let them cook all day until they're nice and soft, and then blend them up until there's the consistency that I like. And then I would go ahead and can them. Well, last year, for the first time, I used my Instant Pot to make applesauce. I have to say that I am not completely in love with my Instant Pot. I don't use it very often. Actually, there are exactly 3 things that I use it for. One is to make the best bone broth. The Instant Pot does a really amazing job at bone broth. I have used it to make yogurt, but this Instant Pot does not have the yogurt function, so that got a little bit fussy. But the third thing that I use it for is to make applesauce, and it does an amazing job. I throw the apples in here and cook it for just a few minutes. There is no blending, no immersion blender or trying to use the food processor or anything like that. As soon as it comes down from pressure and you can open it up, it is already applesauce, and you can can it straight from there. So I do love using my Instant Pot to make applesauce, and I will leave a link below for an Instant Pot like mine, or one with the yogurt function, which I would highly recommend. If you ever think that you will make yogurt, I recommend getting one with the yogurt function. Now, another tool that I recommend is the apple peeler core. There's a lot of different versions of this, but it is so handy to have. If anything, just get yourself one of these. They're amazing. Now, this version comes with a suction cup on the bottom, and it works really well for me because we have granite countertops and they're very smooth. So it latches down it's very secure on the counter. I don't have to worry about it popping off. There are versions that have a stand that you can put it on and clamp it down. Otherwise, you would have to find some way to be able to secure it. Okay, so then you slide the apple on, and you want to make sure that this is forward, and you just start cranking. Okay, then as it moves through, it will start peeling it, and then as it goes through here, it will take the apple core out for you. Okay. And I like to back it up, and it will push the whole thing right off. So you can see here that the whole core comes right out. Then you're left with apple slices. It is the handiest thing. Once I have it peeled and sliced, I will just cut it in half, and I will throw it right into my Instant Pot, like the inner pot without the trivet in the bottom. So I am going to get enough apples to fill this. Like on an Instant Pot, you're supposed to fill it 2/3 of the way. So I will use enough apples to fill it 2/3 of the way. Then I will add a little bit of water and get it set in. I am going to work on getting these apples peeled and show you the next step once I have my Instant Pot full. I've got my Instant Pot full up to the 2/3 line. This is 18 apples. I did 9 Jolly Gold and 9 Golden Delicious. You can see it is nice and full. I'm going to add a cup of water to this and get it set in my Instant Pot. Now, when I make my applesauce, I do not add any sugar. The Golden Delicious apples are sweet enough on their own that you really don't need to add any, but if that's something that you would like to have a little bit of a sweeter applesauce, feel free to add sugar. I never do. The apples are sweet enough on their own for me. I've got my Instant Pot set to sealing. I've got it set to 6 minutes on the manual settings. And then all I have to do is just let it sit. It's going to come up to pressure on its own. Once it comes up to pressure, this valve will pop up, and then it will start counting down the 6 minutes. Once it gets to 6 minutes, then it will start counting down to release pressure. So I'm going to let it release pressure naturally for about 15 minutes, and then I will come back and take a look at it and see where we're at. Okay, the Instant Pot has been naturally releasing the pressure for 17 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick release of the pressure. I've got a cloth over the top just to keep it from spraying everywhere as it vents the steam. And then I'm going to open it up and show you guys what my apples look like. There we go. Okay, now the pressure valve has dropped down. It's very hot. There's going to be a lot of steam, so you have to be very careful when you take this lid off. Even the lid itself is hot. I'm going to lift this away from myself so I don't get steamed. Here is what my apples look like. You can see how soft they are. They're completely cooked. I am not going to have to do anything but stir them a couple times. Now, what I'm going to do is take it from my Instant Pot. I'm going to put it in a larger pot on the stove because I am going to have to do more than one batch of these to get all of my apples done. And once I have all of my apples cooked down and in my larger pot on the stove, I will go through the canning process. Now, I will have a separate video on how to can applesauce. This is just showing you how I do it in my Instant Pot. So if you have any questions about making homemade applesauce, please drop them in the comments below. I would really love to hear from you guys. Make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos from the homestead. Thanks so much for watching.